Hello guys, welcome back to another lovely trading video. In this one we're going to be doing some in-depth stock analysis on Pinterest, ticker PINS. And the reason, firstly, why is it down 13%? It looks like PayPal is withdrawing from its acquisition of Pinterest, or even talks of it. So that's most likely the reason why Pinterest is down so heavily today. So as we can see on this news, obviously it had been downtrending for the year, or at least the past 180 days. Had some good news here, came into the first deviation. As it comes into this deviation, we also then had the news today that, or not even that, it's kind of sold off before, but the news today confirmed and pushed the move down even stronger. So for right now, we are at least a 180-day low, and looks like we're going to soon break the 52-week low, down at 48.57. So right now we are at the first deviation on the daily. So this we would usually call a low risk buy area, and it is still kind of considered one. The only reason I am a bit hesitant, and I always do say, is when there's news, or at least big news, it's usually better to stay away and wait for it to come into a lower level. The reason we say that is because there will be another stock with the exact same setup without the negative news catalyst, which would provide a better chance of a risk. And what's the point of taking on risk? You don't have to. So that's the main thing kind of at this $50 level, that we are kind of a bit hesitant of and won't be taking any longs here, and we'll instead wait for it to break down to that next low, or deviation. And where is that buy entry? And that will be down at $41.90 to around $40.50. So this is kind of the area we are looking at to go long. So pull back, if it can pull back to that level, that's where we'd be looking to go long. And firstly, we actually forgot to do it, but that will be going onto the daily chart, seeing is there any gaps that need to be filled in the past year, because more likely than not they will get filled. We had one over here at 49.25, but was filled a few weeks back, and we can see it's created actually quite a lot of new gaps over here, but the main one we're going to keep an eye on is 72.05. Problem with this level is obviously it's quite far away from where we are, and right now Pinterest is a bit more bearish than it is bullish, but it's just a level to keep in mind that if you are looking for a price cycle to the upside, that is maybe something you could be looking for. But the only thing with Pinterest is it obviously during the pandemic it would have done very well, because obviously it's more of a social media platform, and as everything starts opening up, less people will be using it, so it may reduce its future earnings, so it may struggle to kind of actually even get back to that all-time high, and so that's the only problem with looking for a gap for that $72. So for right now, where are our upside targets? Kind of 69.35, and kind of, I guess, back to the $63 level. If we were long on it, that's again where we would have locked in profits, and that's for two reasons. Firstly, you can see that it is the first deviation, so it would have made sense to lock in profits. Secondly, deviations are trending downwards. When you see that, they tend to keep to that trend. So with Pinterest, for example, trending downwards, when it came into that first deviation, more likely than not it's going to fail, whether that's on news or not. And that takes us into the third reason, is that it is continuing down lower on bad news. So it's even less likely for it to kind of push up to this level, and kind of break out further. So for right now, we're looking more for kind of short-term long plays when it comes into these lower risk buy areas. So we're kind of ignoring the $50 level, and we'll probably use that more as a price target. So if we're getting long at the $42 kind of to $40 level, a good area to be looking at profits will probably be this $50 level. Obviously we can look to go further, but that is definitely an area where we would look in some, and definitely move our stop at least at that level, because if it was to continue down lower, this would most likely be the level it would pull back to before continuing lower. So that's kind of the overall breakdown on Pinterest. I mean, we can place the other deviations, but the main ones we're looking at is kind of that $40 level, and if it comes down to there, we would probably have a new video up anyway. So hope you enjoyed the breakdown on Pinterest. Hope to see you in the next one, and that's it. Peace.
I wanna go, I wanna fly, I wanna take myself